The roots of the GIOVANIDEE competition are firmly anchored in the terrain of the great social changes of the 70s and 80s. During that period of student protests and the dramatic years of political turmoil and terrorism, cultural and political workshops called study conferences were launched in Saint Vincent that welcomed the most intelligent and open-minded individuals to discuss and plan the future of a modern nation. In 1971, the first edition was organized by Forze Nuove, a section of the Christian Democrat Party linked to labor unions and headed by Carlo Donat-Cattin, a historical exponent of the social soul of Italian political Catholicism. Donat-Cattin, a labor union leader and Christian Democrat Party member, served as minister of 4 different departments from 1972 to 1989: labor, health, industry, and special projects for southern Italy. Donat-Cattin invited brilliant minds to the Saint Vincent conferences to discuss and exchange opinions for the purpose of creating a modern nation in which everyone could compete with the same initial opportunities, while simultaneously offering a social safety net to the needy. For years, these conferences gathered together people of different views and of all ages, without ideological barriers, exclusions or prejudices, and with a double priority: to create a national and European identity. The politicians of Bergamo, close to Donat-Cattin and the Forze Nuove section, promoted similar study conferences between 1973 and 1992, which were always held in Saint Vincent and primarily discussed local issues. Giovanni Ruffini, regional council member of the Lombardy region and member of the European Parliament from 1989 until his death in September 1990, and Giancarlo Bora, president of the province and member of parliament from 1978 to 1994, were among these friends. Through the Saint Vincent conferences, which were attended by many citizens of Bergamo, a significant chapter was written in the history of local politics that was useful for understanding the final events of the 20th century. Also in Bergamo. In short, these conferences were of great political value and cultural significance. The experience concluded in the early 90s, but began again in 2001 through a group of friends from Bergamo and Brescia: Gianpietro Benini, Giancarlo Bora, and Sandro Fontana, Pasquale Diana, and Paolo Moleri, in collaboration with the Donat-Cattin Foundation of Turin. The approach of the new conferences was completely new for Italy: an open cultural and political debate on the great challenges of the new century in Italy and Europe, with the strong participation of young people, who became an important subject in the political discussion. In 2003, the Carlo Donat-Cattin Association was established by many of his friends from Bergamo and Brescia, including Savino Pezzotta, General Secretary of CISL, and Sandro Fontana, Minister of University, Scientific Research and Technology in the Amato government of 1992, and later Vice President of the European Parliament. The association was created to promote studies and research on the current social, political, and economic issues of Italy and Europe, to preserve the memory of the political movements inspired by the Catholic Church's social doctrine, and to create opportunities for reflection and discussion that united and reconciled objectives of equity and solidarity. Saint Vincent welcomed the most important exponents of the political world. Government institutions, labor unions and entrepreneurial groups, and associations, but also exponents of culture and the economy. Part of the new political and labor union classes of Bergamo emerged from this group of people. In 2005, students who were already present as auditors of the initial conferences became the protagonists through a journalistic competition seeking to establish a dialogue between generations. It was an opportunity to learn about and develop a culture for true European citizenship through GIOVANIDEE, Young Ideas. Its relevant issues also connoted an ability to look ahead and anticipate the Europe of tomorrow. In 2008, the competition changed because the works presented were no longer articles but short films. Technological evolution, the unity of Italy, and environmental, employment and immigration issues intertwined with the leitmotif of a European conscience. The GIOVANIDEE Association, established in 2011, began organising the competition the following year. In the past 10 editions, 5 European countries, 17 Italian regions, 410 teachers, 4,100 students, 134 Italian secondary schools and 11 schools from other European countries participated in the competition. Scholarships were assigned to the schools for a total amount of €68,000. Prize trips were awarded for a total amount of €110,000. On these trips, the students visited different European capitals that were chosen for the symbolic value of their role in the history of the European Union, which also led to twinning programs between schools. The journey continues, thanks to the civic commitment animating the association, a volunteer project that goes beyond cultural and political stances to unite different people and experiences devoted to transmitting values, building a participative democracy, and creating dialogue and an exchange between generations. To say it with the words of Donna Catane, there is a perspective that is above the political perspective. It is the moral perspective.